Okay, I'll play along. We have a new batch for what we call the rumor report. There are tons of rumors going on right now as far as if the Knicks are going to be aggressive in any trades before the March 25th trade deadline. We got a lot of names in the field. We're hearing that the Knicks have been paying close attention to a lot of key point guards in the league. Will the Knicks be aggressive to make trades for them? Guards like the two guys out of Charlotte, and seeing the outstanding play from LaMelo Ball. Told y'all, by the way. I told y'all. They're looking to ship off one of the two guards because they don't need all three in DeVonte Graham or Terry Rozier III. We'll talk about that or second. The one we've been hearing the most about, and I'm still really worried about us making any move and giving up anything to get this guy, but another guy we're looking really closely for is none other than Victor Oladipo. I feel like this is the one that for whatever reason has the most steam of our team. Not sure why yet, when he's gonna be completely unrestricted and completely available. If the Miami Heat trade him and get him, we'll be okay. But anyways, the Knicks are looking into that deal, and a certain name of a certain somebody that I have been praying and asking for this team to go after is still in the works with the New York Knicks, apparently, supposedly. According to Mark Berman, the New York Knicks are still keeping a close eye and have the Pelicans on speed dial in trying to pick up my guy, none other than the 23-year-old Lonzo Ball. Do the Knicks make a move for any of these guards? Do the Knicks need any of these guards? Do the Knicks need to make a move in general? We kind of talked about this a few days ago or last week or a week before that. But do we think that we should make a move for one of these guards? Let's talk about that. Run the intro. What's going on, CK Crucial Boy, CK2K here. Welcome back to another video. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that notification bell. Do not forget to like this video. Yes, there are trade rumors all around in the rumor report, and we're going to get to that. But before you do that, like I told you guys yesterday, I was on the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast. The podcast is now officially live. I told you guys at the end of the video, stay tuned, but it is up now. So go check out that link in the description below where we talk about season review, all-star game stuff, Knicks stuff, who we would like to trade, in a little bit of video game stuff. Really dope. Go support them. Like I said, same as yesterday, follow their channel, support their podcast, and go listen to the latest episode featuring your boy CK. But let's talk about these rumors, okay? Now, before we get into this video, okay, I need you guys to, you see the title and understand one thing. Tread lightly with all of these rumors, because ultimately, I'll get it off the top. I ultimately believe that the Knicks go through this trade. I ultimately believe that the Knicks go through this trade deadline, and if we do make a move, it's a minimum move at the most that's going to shed off maybe like an Austin Rivers, or maybe we do bite and we ultimately give an Elfrid Payton to like the Clippers. I don't believe that the Elfrid Payton thing will happen, but I do believe that it could. As far as Austin Rivers, I do think Austin Rivers does get shipped at some point, especially since we have so much infatuation with all of these guards. And that's the next question you're going to ask. CK, why the hell are the Knicks going after any more guards when we are lockjam at the guard position and we probably need more help at the center and the stretch four? Hence the rumors with my boy Kyle O'Quinn being in the runnings, because we would need some help in depth at the center or the forward position. Well, it's as simple as this. You get something out of all of these names. You get our starting caliber point guard, because even though Elfrid Payton is playing the starting point guard, we can all come into agreement that he is not our starting point guard of the future. So with some of these moves in DeVonte Graham, Terry Rozier, Lonzo Ball, you get a starting point guard that is young and that can be for the future. Well, two of those names more than the other one preferably more than the three, but you know what I'm trying to say. And then with Victor Oladipo, you get that all-star-esque player that Tom Thibodeau has been talking about from the jump that he wants. So there is the want and the need, and you got to understand that the Knicks would be flipping another guard to be getting one of these guards. It wouldn't be like we're getting one of these guards to add to the guard situation that we have right now. If we were going to be making a move, we're probably going to be flipping some of our guards to get them. So unfortunately, names like maybe Frank Ntilikina, Austin Rivers, maybe even Alec Burks, Reggie Bullock, like any of those names would be a part of these moves that would acquire a guy like everybody I just named. I'm not going to keep naming their names over and over again. So it would be a situation where we would just be boosting the situation for us now and also for the future, preferably with one Lonzo Ball or maybe even DeVonte Graham. So we got the questions out of the way early, the whys and the hows and all that kind of stuff, right? That is the reason why we'd be making any of these moves. And obviously, we've been talking about the Bradley Beal stuff, but even lately, an anonymous GM or anonymous NBA executive, I can't remember which it was, came out and said that their team is ultimately giving up on any calls for the Wizards, and that he is as unavailable as anybody is right now, even though there are the rumors that the Wizards would be looking or would be okay trading him, but they think that he's going to be more like a Damian Lillard and is going to stay true to Washington. For more reasons than one I've already said, I didn't believe in the Bradley Beal trade, and this was one of the main reasons. I just don't think that Bradley Beal truly wants out of Washington. There's a reason why he continues to sign extensions for this team. He may be frustrated, he may be upset with the situation, but at the end of the day, I don't see Bradley Beal ever leaving this team, and hearing that executive say what he had to say, that only solidifies that. So you could throw Bradley Beal in the mix, but I'm not really taking him as serious as these other guards that I had mentioned. I know you guys are expecting me to save Lonzo Ball for last because that's the guy I ultimately want, but realistically, I'm going to start with him because I'm going to go by the ones I feel like are the least likely to be traded. And as much as you guys know I want Lonzo Ball, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys all the reasons. I have tons of videos on my channel to explain why I believe Lonzo Ball would be the perfect fit for this team. And I've been saying this before he's had the amazing stretch of games that he's had right now, where he's now shooting over 40%, and he's become literally a flamethrower from the three-point line. Try to tell you guys killed me in the chat. Here we are today. But the point of the matter is, I want to start with Lonzo Ball because I do believe ultimately the chase for Lonzo Ball is going to be in the free agency pool this year, even though he will be a restricted free agent in the offseason this season. I say this because I just don't see the Pelicans moving him for cheap, and I don't see the Knicks looking to give up the house to get Lonzo Ball. Would I like them to? Sure, but to what cost? I'm not giving up no 2021 draft picks. You know what I mean? Love the kid, but at the same time, I want both. I want my 2021 picks, and I want Lonzo Ball. I'm not giving up one for the other. This isn't like LaMelo Ball. I was open to moving the 2020 pick to try and move up to get LaMelo Ball. That I was open to do. But this one in this 2021 draft, especially since we have 2 draft picks and he's going to be available, and there's still a little bit of rough edges between the Pelicans and Lonzo. And we have to remember, Lonzo Ball and the Pelicans cannot come to an agreement on an extension. So there might be that possibility that maybe we could have a situation like the Boban Bogdanovic situation where we can pay him in the offseason and they decide not to match. There's a possibility. So I'll take my gamble with that. But with all that being said, I would like for the talks to continue. I would like to see the Knicks go out there and pursue Lonzo because, as I've said, and I'm not going to go into crazy detail, tons of videos on the channel, but the kid just fits our team for everything we need. And the age is perfect for him long term. He is 23, still young. Hell, we got a rookie that is about to be 23 years old, or that is 23 years old, or whatever the case may be. He is 23 years old. His shooting is only improving each and every day. He makes everybody else on the team better, and he's a defensive guard. It makes no sense. He's a 6'6" point guard too. Let me also add that, athletic as hell. So it just makes a lot of sense for him to be our future guard, to help put along with RJ Barrett and Julius Randle, whoever else we put on there. But like I said, I just don't see it as a realistic thing happening with us making a trade for them, because let's be real, man. David Griffin's not no fool. He's not an idiot. He's gonna make sure he gets the most out of his deal. And he even said it that he's expecting a big haul for any kind of deals that involve Lonzo Ball. Bars. So yeah, Lonzo Ball is definitely the number one on my list, the one that I would hope for us to go for. And I'm glad that, Mark Berman is, the reports coming out by Mark Berman that the Knicks are still keeping a close eye on Lonzo Ball and the situation in the Pelicans. But ultimately, I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Pelicans are seeing the value that he has for them now. They're playing their best basketball when they're finally putting the ball in his hands, allowing Zion and B.I. to then be the guys to go get the buckets, but Lonzo Ball running the show for him. It's been making a lot of sense for the Pelicans. They've been on a nice little streak thanks to him. So I don't see them giving him up for cheap. So I feel like, unfortunately, we would have to gamble and try and get him in the offseason. We'll see how that works. But along with Lonzo Ball, it seems like the Knicks are also monitoring his brother's teammates in Terry Rozier and DeVonte Graham. Now, DeVonte Graham, I've been hearing little bits of rumors around, but Terry Rozier has been very heavily talked about, and this is nothing new. We knew the Knicks have been in love with Terry Rozier since his free agency of 2019, 2018. I was somewhere in between, and the Knicks were really hoping to get him in that offseason, but he decided to ultimately go with the Charlotte Hornets. But right now, there's a logjam at the guard position for the Hornets where, they have a starting lineup where they got LaMelo Ball playing the 3 but running the show. So it's a weird situation for the Pelicans, and they are understanding that the best case scenario for them would just be let LaMelo Ball play the point guard and then have another guard next to him with also starting a wing along with that lineup. So with that being said, they're going to have to get rid of one of these 3 guards to help that situation be possible. Terry Rozier probably being the odd man out because of the great play from DeVonte Graham last year and his age. So they hope that they can run a 2-guard system with LaMelo and DeVonte Graham, even though DeVonte Graham's not having a great season and Terry Rozier's having a good season. But we got to understand the situation. Rozier probably wants to be on a situation where he can run the show himself right now. I think that's why the Knicks are monitoring that situation. I said situation like 50 times just now. Here's my beef for Terry Rozier, though. And I like Terry Rozier, the player. I just don't know how I feel about Terry Rozier being our starting guard. I'd rather have Emmanuel Quickley be our starting guard than having Terry Rozier. And that's not a slight on Terry Rozier. It's just I don't know how I feel as Terry Rozier being our starting point guard. He is more of a shooter, a lot like an Emmanuel Quickley, than I see him as a point guard and making other people on the team better. That's my problem with the Terry Rozier. But does he instantly help our team? Yes. So that's why I'm not against any kind of move to get in a Terry Rozier on the team. But I just, again, when we're talking about likelihood, this is another one I don't see as likely, even though I know that they probably will be moving Rozier or Graham. I just don't know if it's going to be to us because, like I mentioned at the top, we're going to be giving up a guard to get a guard, and the last thing this Charlotte Hornets team needs is another guard to add to the situation. So if we give them Austin Rivers, if we give them Alec Burks, if we give them, hell, even if we give them like an Elfrid Payton or something like that, that does not help their problem. So I just don't see the Knicks going in and getting a Terry Rozier. So this one's another one I see less likely. But again, it is rumor out there that the Knicks are staying really close when it comes to Terry Rozier. So take that for what you will. I'm just, reporting that as it is. Like I mentioned, there's some rumblings about DeVonte Graham. I'm not going to talk about that too seriously because I just don't know how true that is. I don't see them looking to give up DeVonte Graham, but I don't know. So last but not least in the rumor report, we're going to none other than Victor Oladipo. I have expressed my thoughts and my concerns with Victor Oladipo, but the rumors just will not go away until March 25th or until a trade is made. It makes no sense to trade for him now. I understand the thought process if it's any other player, but the fact that Victor Oladipo is still a bit injury prone right now. He's still recovering technically from his last injury. And, I'll give him his credit because he's still playing really well right now. He's playing very good basketball right now, still averaging in the 20s right now. And he's playing solid, but at the same time, it's just like, I would be surprised if the Rockets do keep him on their roster. I just don't know how that looks for us. I don't know how many minutes he plays with us. I don't know what the situation, putting him next to RJ Barrett could be nice. I don't know. I like it, but I don't like trading for him. That's the problem I have. If we go in the offseason, we go and sign him for a nice cheap deal, that's different. But as far as trading for him, meaning that we have to give up pieces to get Victor Oladipo, who we don't know is even 100% for this season, it's hard for me to go with that move. But according to Mark Berman and even Ian Begley and all the writers, all the reporters, it's just the Knicks have been keeping such a close eye on Victor Oladipo, so I'm seeing him as somebody that the Knicks are looking closely on. But me personally, I'm not really in the running for no Victor Oladipo. So we'll see what happens there. But coming up March 25th, the Knicks are keeping their eyes on a lot of players. And these are just some of the big players that you know. There are players behind the scenes, like I mentioned with Kyle Quinn. There's a lot of players behind the scenes that the Knicks are keeping their eyes on. I'm seeing rumors about Jeremy Grant. I don't know how that's going to work. And we also know the rumors about Andre Drummond. But right now, those are cooling down a little bit as the Lakers are looking like the #1 suitor to try and pull an Andre Drummond deal. What are your thoughts about these rumors in the trade market right now? Should the Knicks even bite on any of these rumors? I talked about it last week or 2 weeks ago that the Knicks really shouldn't be making any moves by the deadline. And even though I talked about these players, I still stand pat at that. I would love to see a move for Lonzo Ball. That's different, just so we can have the match rights for Lonzo Ball in the offseason. And to be real, outside of moving our pick this year, there's not much I wouldn't be afraid to give up to get Lonzo Ball. I'm sorry, it's gonna trigger some people, but to be real with you, if I have to give up both Kev and Frank, you gotta do what you gotta do. This guy could be our point guard of the future with the way he plays, and I understand you guys look at him as just the Lonzo Ball player for himself, but Lonzo Ball is more than just a player for himself. It's about what's going to come with RJ Barrett's game, how Julius Randle can continue to improve, the same Mitchell Robinson, Obi Toppin. He does more for everyone else, and he's also adding to his own game by himself. So to me, it's just the easiest gamble to make. It makes the most amount of sense. So if I have to give up guys like, Kevin Knox, Frank Ntilikina, Alec Burks, if I have to give up those kind of guys and maybe a 24 pick, like something like that, I'm doing it for Lonzo Ball. But I just don't see it realistically happen. When it comes to this trade deadline, I say we stand pat unless something magically comes up with Lonzo Ball. Ball, that's what I'm looking at. But as far as Rozier and Graham and Victor Oladipo and Beal, stand pat, don't do that. We're doing good right now. We're 19-18 with what we got right now, with barring the injuries we've had. Run it with what we got and continue that out for the rest of the season. All right, that's how I feel about it. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How real do you feel like these rumors are? Do you think that there's any, these are just all smoke being blown up and we're not going to ultimately make any kind of deal? Do you think the Knicks go and get somebody of lesser value in the trade market? Do you think we pick up somebody in free agency? Let me know your thoughts about what's to come here in the comments below. If you haven't already, make sure you like this video, hit that subscribe button, don't forget to hit the notification bell. And like I said, link is in the description below for the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast. Your boys in the latest episode, and I please would love for you guys to go and follow them and continue supporting them. They're great information, great conversations, a lot of fun. Go support them. I'm out of here, y'all. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Let's get it. See you guys tomorrow. New video. I'm out of here. Peace.
Feeling like I won the lotto. Always taking trips with a new chick, asking where the time goes. And I wonder if this is all I'll know.